back to Cross Stitch the Globe. My name is Stephanie and this is a channel about cross stitch. And today is Flosstube number 58, Flosstube 58. It's the first time in a long time I've been able to do a weekly update, which is what I would really like to get to. Like Mondays are just like personal Flosstube updates for me, plus maybe Destash on weeks where I have some. And then Thursdays are like topics about the community. Not every week can go like that, but it is what I would like in my head ideally like. So I'm very excited to do a Flosstube that is just like an update of the last week. So I don't have a lot of announcements. The giveaway winner from last week and the giveaway for this week will be in the middle because I'm restructuring these so that it's like Flosstube, giveaway wraps up the Flosstube. Then I have like a little Destash parade so that people who don't want to see Destash or see what's in my shop don't have to, and they can still enjoy the Flosstube knowing that that stuff will be clearly marked at the end and they can dip out. And also that way I'm not making them separate videos, which can kind of clog up the feed and be like more stressful for me. So the giveaway and the from last week and the new giveaway for this week will be in the middle. Okay, let's dive into finishes. I have two, which I was really excited about. And you guys saw this one in the thumbnail. This was actually a little start and finish. This is Quirky Quaker Love Letter by Darlene and Whimsy Designs. This is on a 30 count linen that my friend Rebecca gave me. She sent it to me because she didn't want to use it. And she said like, oh, it'll be perfect for dyeing. And I was like, oh, this would be like the perfect linen for this project. So I dyed it. I think it started, this one I think started out, there was one that started out blue and one that started out tan. This one started out tan. So I played around with it and dyed it. Now, so this is not available on the Darlene and Whimsy website. It's an exclusive to the Cupid Collective, which is a bundle of Valentine's Day patterns. I showed my contribution last week, and then in the video, which I'll link below, all about the Cupid Collective, I showed like the models for everyone's stitching that's in it. It's a bundle of 7 patterns. And we have like D's 20 Stitches and Bindi Stitchy and Sprouty and Lupin and Soft Girl Stitches, Darlene and Whimsy Designs, myself, and Stitch X Love, who is hosting it. I think that counts to 7. I think I got everybody. But all the patterns in this year's are great. And the way you get it is you do a $10 donation to one of, or 13 Canadian, to one of the 4 charities that we list. There's 2 Canadian charities, 2 charities that are like, look like they're US based, but I know that Rainbow Railroad, one of the charities, has like locations, like they help people do international relocation when they have safety concerns about being LGBTQIA+. So I saw one of the donations come in was like a UK based donation, like not the person was from the UK, but it was like to the the Rainbow Railroad UK chapter or something. So if you're international and you're like not in Canada or US, definitely check them out. And then also one of the charities, Alla Otro Lado, helps with people looking for immigration assistance. They do a lot of work in the Spanish language. And so if you're abroad and you're like, I hate what's happening in the US right now, like you can still donate to them and they can help international people who are stuck here in our system that is currently not working as it was designed in a way that is opposed to the way most Americans, like the majority of Americans, feel. So that's how you get the collective. It is only available through the 14th. So it's only available through Valentine's Day, and then all the patterns are not available to be released until the summer. So for the Cupid Collective, I will link to my video, but I will also link to the our page that shows all the information. So if you're interested in that, you can pick that up. So for this, I did a color conversion. I knew I wanted to stitch this yesterday for my Galentine's Day party, but I didn't know I would be able to finish it. So it's only 939 stitches, but I usually don't stitch that much on one project in a row. So I did 800 stitches yesterday, and then I did the remaining like 130-ish today. I did a color conversion from what I had in one project bag. So like, I just looked at my like travel folder that has some like floss rings of color and cotton, but also like floss rings of like my primitive needle folder has like fancy floss for a bunch of different projects. And I just looked through all the rings in there to pick 4 colors that I liked. And then the purple, I I pulled the blueberry from my Thistle Manor that was in a different project bag. And I just like put these together. Obviously this paint ghosts a lot on camera. It ghosts in person too. Like here you can see it. You can see it, but it ghosts. But I was like, I started it and I was like, should I switch this to like a more red? And my friend Jim was like, no, leave it. And so I was like, okay, I'll leave it. Cause like the fun of a Valentine's Day small is that you just do what you want and you stash bust and you just like make it yours. So mine is different than the model, which I'll show. Cause that is more red and that is red. And then her pink fabric is like not as pink. I mean, it's just like it's a pink blush, but it's like a softer pink, whereas this is like pretty vibranty. So my colors also like look different because of that. But I absolutely love it. I'm so excited that I finished it. This is my first time using a nerd tube. I got this hoop in Kansas City when I went to CC & Company with my friends Samantha and Jackie in October. And then I hadn't pulled it out because like I got this nerd tube. I have friends who've had problems with nerd tubes, like ripping fabric and squishing stitches and stuff because they get so tight. And I love a vintage hoop and I'm never gonna change. But I did kind of, sometimes I like working on a Q-snap and I thought this would be fun because some of the things I don't like about Q-snaps on smalls is like how thick it is when you're just trying to work in a little area. So I thought this would be kind of fun and it totally was. I really am glad that I have this for smalls and situations where I can fit the entire piece in this area and I'm not going to be moving it around at all. Like it was perfect. It was like perfect for that. And then obviously the color, it was really fun to have this out for my Valentine's Day stitching. I'm going to start one more thing from the collective, but I haven't decided what. I won't finish it, but I'm going to pull one more thing out and start it so that it's started up for next year. It's going to be hard to pick. I know that the one that from Benny Stitchy Designs, I'm going to do as my blessing sampler in January next year because it goes with the piece that she did last year for the collective, and I already stitched that one. And I want to put them in, I'm going to make this and those two in a little like Valentine's Day dough bowl situation. And I took that sewing class from Craftsy and I need to like go back into it and do more because I do want to sew these into pillows myself, even though I love to throw money at finishing them. Somebody else finishing them, but I just don't have, that's not in the budget for me. So I do want to get out my sewing machine and have like a Valentine's Day sewing pillow day sometime. It won't be before Valentine's Day, but I love it. So whatever else I start from the collective, I'm going to go through and pick up this year, look at this year and last year, because I want to do one that would also work in a bowl with those three other designs. I actually think both of the Sprouting Lupine ones that are like little clowns would also kind of look good on this fabric, but I actually have the called for fabric for them, so I might do that because they would also look cute as little pillows in a dough bowl. So anyway, I love the collective. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We have raised over $1,000 so far. Last year we did get to almost 1,700. I double checked, and the collection was a little bit more expensive last year. So if you haven't picked it up yet, we still have 7 days. Well, you're gonna see this on Monday. You have until the 14th, which is Saturday. So, and the donation $10 is a minimum. So you can donate more, and we know more donations will come in, but we really want to get to at least the level we got last year or better. I feel like the times warrant the donations this year. So if you haven't picked it up yet and you're thinking about it, like, please do. I promise I've now stitched 3 of the 9 different designs because it's 7 patterns, but 9 designs. I've stitched 3 of them in it and I have had so much fun. So obviously I designed 2 of them, but and my friends got to see the models, and one of my friends was like, the pictures don't do it justice. And it's like, yeah, it's hard to like photograph cross stitch. So I promise you will love it. Okay, so that was my start and finish of Quirky Quaker Love Letter. My other finish was my Thistle Manor Blessing Sampler. Did not get this under the wire for January. Finished this on February 6th, but it is what it is, right? I absolutely love it. So the colors are not showing up correctly. Purple is really hard to film and photograph, and it's just not coming through. So So I did this in the called for blueberry. This is a freebie on I will link to the freebie blog. Well, okay. Geary Homestead is a blog where Pat Geary, who runs the Facebook group, the Blackbird Facebook group, has like insanely detailed information about Blackbird designs patterns. I never stitch a Blackbird without going to her website and checking it out. Last year in our most expensive cross stitch patterns video, this came up as like an honorable mention or something. And then people were like, but that's a free pattern. So that like got me interested in the design, and I kitted it up, and then I started it in January. I am gonna record most expensive cross stitch patterns for last year very soon. I just haven't had time to sit down and pull all the numbers. And also I'm like sad about the fact that I won't get to share all the details with Allison. Like that's part of what filming it is so fun for me. But she did come to the stitching day yesterday. She was stitching with us. It was so fun. So I got to stitch with Allison yesterday, but anyway, so I finished this on Friday. I am going to film the most expensive cross stitch patterns for this coming year. I have peeked at a little bit of the data throughout the year. Like you'll see something go off or whatever, or somebody will send me something and be like, can you believe this? But like I haven't looked. So I need to pull the data and film that soon. But anyway, this was on that list last year, honorable mention, which was crazy because it is a free pattern. However, some people do like the like paper pattern ephemera of it and do buy the expensive paper patterns, even if they get a free digital, like usually not expensive. But I have sold a lot of things that like are on the Mirabilia website for free. Not Mirabilia, Lavender and Lace, because they want the ephemera and they want the paper pattern. They don't want to download like a weird uploaded free version. So anyway, I did 930 stitches since you saw this last. And this is the call for color, but because the call for fabric is so yellow, mine looks very different. The picture looks very blue. The floss is actually purple. And it's like, okay, did it change? Because this was from 2003. So it's very possible that blueberry was a blue floss and then it has morphed into a purple floss as dye lot changes. But, so if you're like, you want the look of the cover of it, do not get the called for floss. But I didn't care. I just liked when I saw it, I liked it, and I could have changed. I did add pops of cornflower so that I can stick it in a frame that leans more cornflower than purple. It's kind of a blurple frame, but I wanted to put some blue in there to pull the blue out of it. And I love it. I changed the year to 2026 and I added my initials. There's a spot in the pattern that says like put your initials here, but there's no alphabet. So I made up the C based on the O, and then there's an S obviously. So this is on 36 count Bramble. I stitched it 1/2. I love it. Oh, this is 30 count. I stitched this 2/2. I don't remember who makes this linen, but this is picture this plus Bramble. So I have the frame picked out for it, and I thrifted the frame for it, so I need to frame it soon. Oh, and then because the frame I picked out is a 5x7, and so to make it look more natural in that frame, I added the bottom border. But anyway, that's Thistle Manor. My blessing sampler finished February 6th. It's fine. Doesn't matter. In one of the Facebook groups, people were like, I didn't finish my blessing sampler. If it takes me 2 months, does that mean I get double the blessings? And it's like, yeah, sure. Okay, new starts. I have one new start, but I have some issues with the new start. So I started Florence married Dickinson, which is by Hands Across the Sea. This is something that I bought in a Destash. Started it with my friend Jill, who is stitching books. So we were gonna start this on February 1st. I did start mine on February 1st, but February 1st was last Sunday. It was really busy. I had to film, I had to do my Zoom. It was also the full moon, which I also got a very small amount of stitches in. And my mom was out of town, so I took my kids to my dad's house, or to my parents' house, to keep so that we could like, not check on my dad, but like, just like, you know, my dad's not used to being alone for 6 days in a row. Like he likes to be alone, but he's not like actually used to it. So I brought them over for a little chaos so that he could like get wound up a little bit and then have some peace afterwards when we left. Anyway, so I didn't have a lot of like stitching hours. I had like 2.5 stitching hours, and I had to do my full moon project and start this. And I could have moved the start of this, like Jill would have been cool, but I just didn't want to. Like I wanted to get it started, but I knew I was going to get like a huge start in it. But then when I got started in it, so I started on Palomino by Color and Cotton, which was my January Color and Cotton of the month. And so the call for fabric is Creme Brulee by Tabby Cat. And you can see the model is pretty grungy, but like cover photos, you never really know, right? but it's like a pretty grungy fabric. But I did feel like it had like places where it was kind of like I don't know. I thought this would look like it would look good on this color fabric, even though this fabric is not like this. I thought it had like elements of it. But now that I'm seeing it, so that night I kind of like was like, wait, do I really want to start it on this fabric? Do I want to pick different fabric? And I went through my fabric stash and I didn't find anything I wanted to change it to. So I went ahead and started it. But now I'm like, you know what? I do want to restart it because like I was stitching it at like 10 o'clock at night, seeing it in the daylight, even though I love the color fabric, I feel like when I hadn't started stitching it, this felt like a very neutrally sampler color. See, and it's the Color Cotton Neutrals Club, so it is a neutral. But seeing it in the daylight with the green stitches in it, it feels more yellow than I thought it was, even though like I'm looking at the same piece of fabric. And when it has more, and so I'm thinking that that is going to like I think all the other colors will look good on it, but I think it will pull focus from this yellow, amazing yellow flower to have it be on like a fabric that pulls more yellow once I started stitching green on it. So like, cause I don't feel like that looks as yellow as that looks. And maybe that's just me, but anyway. So I'm stitching it in a 4.5 by 9 vintage Duchess hoop. So anyway, so I decided I'm gonna restart it. But I'm not going to buy new fabric for it. So I have two choices I want you guys to give me your opinion on. And then I'm also gonna look at the Color Cotton February fabric is on its way. If that gets here and it's just like perfect, I'm not gonna start it till I have that fabric in my hands. I'm not gonna restart it. Because if that gets here and I think it would be better, then I'll be like so mad if I have just restarted it. But anyway, so help me figure out which of the two fabrics I'm gonna show you makes the most sense for this. And then if the other one gets here and I think that that is so good that it overrides this decision, then I will use that. But I think in my heart, I know which one I need to do, but it just requires some changes. So, okay, so I have two choices. I have this parchment, 36 count parchment, which also pulls yellow. Don't get me wrong, it does pull yellow, but I feel like it pulls more grungy, like the extra layer of grunginess, and it's not quite as bright. It's more like what I thought this would look like. And this is a piece of fabric that one of my friends sent me because she started some things on it and decided she wasn't gonna keep going on them. And so, and it was just fabric that I thought was so pretty, I decided I wasn't gonna destash it, I was gonna keep it. So I think this is more in my mind what this would have been. It's a little less yellow. It's a little less yellow. It's a little more brown. It's a little grungier, and it will actually do what I thought this was gonna do. And it's 36 count, so I can stitch it 1/2, just like I'm stitching now. The other choice is this Thornfield by Needle and Flax, which is a big piece of linen. The caveat is this is 32 count. So I feel like this is much closer to the called for in terms of like grunginess. And I've seen creme brulee up close. The lights are, the brown grungy is more brown and grungy, and then the places where it's not brown and grungy are more cream colored. Like it really, creme brulee is a very good name for it. So this doesn't get quite as like toned down as that, but I feel like they're good. I feel like they're good subs for each other. So, but the caveat is the only piece that I have of this is 32 count, and I'm not buying linen for this project, right? So if I do it on 32 count, this piece is big enough for it because on 32 count, this piece is 16 by 19 roughly. So it would also still fit on a fat quarter. Like, and this is bigger than a fat quarter. I think this is a fat half actually. So I would have plenty of linen to do it on. It just means bumping it up to 2/2. What I'm doing with the DMC, and this is one that I think would look good, like punchy and vibrant. So I don't really think that's a problem. I just can't tell in my head if I'm being snobby that like I'm enjoying stitching on 36, so I should stitch on 36. When I think this, if this was 36 count and not 32, would be the obvious choice. And I do stitch on 32 all the time, and I like stitching on 32. It's just that I've gotten used to stitching on 36 because of my glasses, but it's not something I exclusively stitch on. So do you think I should go with the 32 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax or the 36 count Parchment? And I think this Z means that Parchment is by Zweigart, but I'm not 100% sure. But it is called Parchment. Like, so should I do the Parchment or the Needle and Flax? And even looking in the camera, I'm like, I should do this, but do you think, and I'm not the kind of person that would hate doing a 32 count sampler, so, but tell me if I'm crazy switching to this or if I should do this. Okay, this project is living in this, ooh, like pink candy project bag. It was a gift from one of you guys, and I thought the like flower on the front like looked kind of like a lollipop flower, so I thought this was perfect for it, and like bright vibrant colors. So let me know what you think. I think I know, but like I think I should just switch it to 32 count. But like, am I being a snob when I have the like, because I have friends who like only like to stitch on one type of fabric, and it's because like they don't think their stitches look good or that's just what they prefer. I am not like that. I like both. So am I just being a snob because of like other people? I feel like I think other people won't think of the samplers as fancy if I do it on 32 as opposed to 36. But that's also stupid. Right? Just like talking through this with you guys, that is stupid. Okay. So that was my new start. I only did 33 stitches on it, but I'm glad because it's like if I'd done 150 stitches on it and I still wanted to restart it, it'd be worse, right? Okay, whips. So I have 3 whips. The first is I Like Cross Stitch by Jed X Stitch. I'm doing this for Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World's Birthday Sale. I actually showed you guys this amount of progress last week because I showed it in the beginning and then I showed it after my membership Zoom. So I haven't actually added stitches since then, but I did want to go ahead and make sure that like those stitches were categorized in the right place because so I did 130 stitches last week on it. I will stitch on it again today when my membership Zooms happens in about 15 minutes. I will pull this out. And this is like pink on orange is kind of a fun Valentine's Day stitching. This is 36 count Ritzy by Fortnite Fabrics. And I think it's gonna look really good and I really like it. And I decided I'm gonna only stitch, not only, but primarily stitch this on my membership Zooms because so many people on that Zoom are stitching this. And because I thought it'd be nice to have like one project where I stitch the same thing on like those Zooms every week instead of like trying to figure out every week what am I going to pull for that Zoom. But also like I don't really stitch a lot of stitches about stitches. Like that's really, of all the genres of cross stitch, I know I'm not saying cross stitching about cross stitching isn't cool or fun or good or anything. It's not my jam. There are very few pieces that I've ever done that are about stitching. They're like retreat pieces. Retreat pieces are the only pieces I've started except for one round robin that got like lost in the Australian post. And that was just about scissors, not even about stitching. So I don't do a lot of like stitching motifs. I think this pattern is so cute and I really like it, but I wouldn't have picked it up on my own like for that reason because like there's so many good Gen X stitches out there. But the fact that it's like a collective fun thing we're all doing like got me hooked on it too. Plus it has like all the like vintagey motifs and stuff that I really like when I sell and like look through vintage patterns. So I thought that was fun too. But I'm not a stitcher about stitch. I'm not a person who stitches about stitching. So having like doing this on my stitchy membership Zoom with my stitchy friends felt like the most natural, obvious place for me to get like consistent progress on it because it's also 19,000 stitches. So instead of stressing myself out about when am I going to put stitches in this 19,000 stitch project, if I'm like, okay, every week I'm just doing like 100 stitches, in 3 or 4 years they'll be done, but it will be like this like physical memory of all of these fun times I'm having with people that I really enjoy spending time with every week, that would be good. So all that is to say, I put it in this stitchy lady. This is like this fabric is ladies who like I think are sewists and quilters, but it also is like a lot of notions that cross stitchers also use. But I just thought it was funny because it's like a group of friends, even though like, you know, anyway, in my head, they're like a group of stitchy friends, and it's a stitchy Sal, and I'm going to stitch it with my stitchy Zoom friends. So like, I thought that was fun. Okay. I'm going to run through the last 2 whips real quick, and then I will go do my membership Zoom and I will come back. So the last 2 whips I have, this is the Azure Window. This is from my Cross Stitch of Ice and Fire book that I released in 2024. That's in my Etsy shop. This is the last of the small patterns in that book that this is the only small pattern in that book I didn't finish before I released the book. I'm stitching this on Sundays when A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is on, because this is like a pattern I stitched when I watch Game of Thrones related stuff, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms is out. They did release episode 4 early, so I saw it, but I had like 100 stitches left on Thistle Manor. I was like just gonna finish Thistle Manor, and I always do a rewatch of the episode, so I was like, but I don't always make myself stitch my Game of Thrones project when I'm doing a rewatch, like of that week's video. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna rewatch it on Sunday, because we'll get this out tonight. So I did 123 stitches, but I've been stitching like a very light color, so it doesn't look like more progress, but I've been filling in light colors down here. Like, I don't know. So there's more in there, but anyway, this is one of those patterns that like an area doesn't really come together until it comes together. When I started stitching it, I was stitching it darkest to lightest, which is why you see so much more definition in the rock. But then since I picked it back up this year, I've just been stitching colors that were available to me easily, because I dekitted all my GMC but didn't fully organize them all back yet. So anyway, the progress doesn't look as like impactful, but it's there. And if I keep doing a couple hundred stitches every week, and then Game of Thrones House of the Dragon is coming out this summer, like I really want this to be a 2026 finish so that I can move on to the next pattern. There's a pattern in the book I want to start, but then there's also one small that I didn't put in the book because I didn't get to it, and I didn't put any smalls in the book that didn't have enough stitching that I could make sure we're gonna work. So so when I finish this one, I'll decide, do I want to do the other small and add it to the book and update it, or do I want to stitch a big one? So we'll see. It lives in this Carrie Sews For You bag. Okay, last whip. I only got 44 stitches in it because again, this was a Sunday night, squeeze everything into one little stitching session. So this is Goodnight Boon by Kathy Barrick. I'm doing this as a full moon stitch with my full moon gals. Amy from Amy Loves Toes, Megan the White-Eyed Stitcher, Jen's Fiberweb, and then Kansas City Stitcher Samantha joined us this year. We're all stitching Kathy Barrick moon patterns. I love this pattern. I just like I was like kind of mad that the full moon was on February 1st. I really hated that because like usually when a month starts, I sort of like start to think about, oh, in a couple days is going to be the full moon. So February 1st was rude. Like I was not emotionally prepared to be doing full moon stitching. And May has 2 full moons. And then when that happens, then the months after that for the rest of the year will be towards the end of the month, which I'm also not excited about. But anyway, I have like 200 more stitches I need to do in this month. I don't know if I'm going to make myself do them or if I'm just going to try to catch up next month when I'm more excited about it being the full moon. I love this project so much. But it's like a lot less stitching than my full moon project last year was. So I don't need to pressure myself to like get caught up this month when like next month I can just do 400 stitches. Like I'll have to do 450 stitches on it, which is like 1 day's worth of stitching. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll just catch up in March. It lives in this Handmade by Stitchy Missy moon bag. All right, so that is all the stitching that I did in the last week. And I'm gonna go host my membership Zoom and come back and talk about kindness and haul and do the giveaway and do the Destash. So I will see you in a minute. Hi guys, I'm back. So I just did my membership Zoom stitching. It was so fun. And my dishwasher's running. I'm not apologizing for it, just letting you know that that is what the noise is in the background. I do have to run it right now because it takes like 3 hours. 3.5 hours to get through a cycle. So, okay, we were at kindness. Okay, I did not have any haul this week. maybe a little bit, but I'm gonna put it under Stitchy Kindness because I'll explain in a second. So for the Valentine's Day party that I had yesterday, I made like little gift bags for the people that come in with, I dyed fabric, and I didn't take a picture of any of the dyed fabrics. I did show you what I dyed for myself. Here is the offcut of that because I gave them like nice normal size pieces, but I dyed this big offcut for me because I knew what I was gonna do with it was smalls, and so like this is perfect for like 4 or 5 more Valentine's Day smalls. And I had like 5 different shades of reds and pinks, and I just I cut up the pieces, and then everyone had 2 different colorways, but it was like, you know, whatever came out, because my idea was that they would use them for smalls. So there were some modeling lines that like maybe wouldn't lend themselves perfectly to doing like one thing on it, but if you cut it up into smalls, it'd be fine. The only piece I didn't like that came out was actually a piece I dyed for me. This was the piece I was originally gonna stitch that Quirky Quaker on, but it came out like too mottled and blotchy for like a small, and I've had this problem before, where like a small piece, and this is also Lugano, which I don't really love stitching with, but I just thought it'd be the right size for that. Anyways, I'm actually gonna re-dye this, maybe do like a red dye over it and see if I can get it to be like a real red, but we'll see. But anyway, so these were fabrics that I had in stash. So this is not haul, but the other thing I put in those bags were like some DMC variegated that are like the reds and pinks ones, and I think the DMC variegated has been discontinued, but I'm not sure if it's all of them has been discontinued. But I just went to the store and I bought all the variegateds they had that were like I thought would make good Valentine's Day monochromatic stitching, and then I just split them up into the different bags, and I got enough that I could have some too. So I have some like, I didn't bring them here, but I have like 5 skeins of DMC variegated reds and pinks, which will be fun to pull out for Valentine's Day next year. And then in the bags too were these like little bracelets, but these were for my mom. My mom loves Valentine's Day, and when I was over at her house, she like gave me like, she lent me like a bunch of Valentine's Day like little things like plates and like fake flowers and stuff, so I was able to like decorate a little more. Like I had Valentine's decorations, but she gave me more stuff. I'm gonna drop it back off, but she also gave me these like bracelets, which were so cute, so I put these in everybody's bags too, and then I kept these for me. So they were from me to my friends, but they were also kindness to me because they were from my mom. So it was fun to make those bags. And then this bracelet my son made me at school. It's just like a little beaded, so that's like Stitchy kindness as well. Some beads. I know it's jewelry, but like I pictured to my sister Valerie. I was like, you're gonna be so jealous, and she's like, I am jealous. I do want one, because she's like my kid's like surrogate mom. So anyway, so that was fun. But then also some of the people that came brought gifts for everyone, so not required at all. They just did it because they, you know, Stitchy people get together, and if a bunch of Stitchy people get together, somebody probably crafted something that they're excited to pass out. So I'll show the Stitchy kindnesses I received. So Amy, who is Amy K. Graham on Instagram, stitched up these adorable needle minders, which I already showed you guys one of because I used it on my Quirky Quaker. But look, she stitched them, and then she sewed them in the magnet into them, so that they're these like adorable little pouch needle minders. And then we all got to pick one out, and then she left the 2 that weren't claimed in my pile of stuff. Like, I don't think she said anything about it. I just was like, oh, there's, okay. So yeah, sure, I will, no problem. So this one said Sal. The one I showed you guys earlier said FFO. And then this one says SAF, start and finish. So how cute are these? I've seen a lot of cute needle minders. Those are really cute. I'd never seen anybody do those before. And then Jen made these adorable counting pins. And then that's Jen. And then my friend Gina and Jen brought like a bunch of cookies and cupcakes and stuff, which was so sweet. And then Gina also helped me set up because they got here, she and Jim got here a little early, and I was still like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And then Jim brought these like cute tins, which she put inside. She put candy, which I'm not sharing with my children. And I didn't eat yesterday so that I could show it, but then also like these cute pins. So what I was thinking is this box is so cute. I think it might be fun to put like Valentine's Day specific stitching things in here. So next year when I'm like, oh, I want to stitch Valentine's Day smalls, I'll just have like a box of Valentine stuff ready to go. Like things that are like specifically set aside, like some of the DMC variegateds that I bought, or like these fabrics and stuff, like things I'm specifically like, I want to pull these out for Valentine's smalls to make like a little Valentine's Day smalls kit. And then also when this is like sitting by my stitchy spot, the box will be so cute, like decor. So I think that's what I'm gonna do is eat these candies and then use these to store all my cute little Valentine's Day things. To make Valentine's Day stitching next year even more fun. So, and then also like if I get cute ribbons or things and I'm like, oh, that would be really cute to save, to put on like a stitching finish, that I don't lose it, that it's all just like in this like themed box. So that's what I do. So thank you ladies for coming. If you're watching this, thank you ladies for coming. It was so fun, and thank you for the little presents. It was such a fun day. So, okay, so that was Stitchy Kindness, and then giveaway. So, like I said, I didn't have any haul this week. My color and cotton fabric of the month is on its way, like I said, so I'll have that next time. But I didn't, and I haven't like made any market pre-orders. I've been good. Okay, plans. I'm gonna start data points in Paris, number 2, the Sal from Stitchery. I have it all like kitted up and ready to go. I just like didn't have the bandwidth this week to start anything, and I would like to get Florence by Dickinson restarted with like a little bit of real progress before I start anything else. So I'm not gonna try to keep up with the shaded stitchery Sal in terms of like getting it done when everyone else gets done, but I would like to not like let it drag on either. It's less than 7,000 stitches, so it's gonna be a Sal that like I should be able to keep up on. So I'm gonna start that. I should start that this week, but after I restart Florence by Dickinson. I have one holdover project from last year that were in my like hangover projects before I can kick off my 2026 plan rotation like in earnest. And I'm going to be working on that, and that was finishing my makeup murder piece, and so that I can finish that, get that filmed, and then really start my 2026 plan rotation, like get those whips out and get them rotating the way I wanted to. Giveaway. Okay, so last week I gave away Broken Wings Welcome by Shaded Stitchery. I have a paper copy to send you, and the winner is the Bug Stitcher. So congratulations. You can see not if you're the winner, the Bug Stitcher, you can message me on Instagram, because I know that you can message me on Instagram and just give me your address, or you can email me here, but either way, because I know we talk on Instagram. So congratulations, I will get that in the mail for you. And then this week's giveaway, I decided I'm going to give away a copy of my Valentine's Day pattern from last year, which is called Love Bug Quaker. It's a PDF, and obviously like you're not going to get it before Valentine's Day. But if you're like, I would like to prepare to have more Valentine's Day stitching next year, obviously pick up the Cupid Collective. And then also I feel like giving away a PDF of this fun Valentine's Day pattern would be a nice way to enjoy, like wrap up this Valentine's Day season. So you can see a picture of here. And this is a PDF pattern that's just for sale on my Etsy shop. So you don't need to be 18 to enter, because I just have to email it to you. So you can live anywhere, and you can be any age. You just have to be able to receive an email PDF copy. All right, so Destash. I have a lot. Like, so you guys saw all the stuff I got from the warehouse sale. I'm not going through that today. I also have a giant box of like vintage stuff people have given me over the last like 6 months to Destash that I haven't gotten it together to actually get out the Destash for. So I'm just gonna I just grabbed an armful of it, and I'm just gonna do whatever is in this bag today, because I just need to start like getting these things up and listed. Yesterday somebody bought something that I had like an old plastic canvas pattern that I thought was cool, but I didn't know if anybody would ever like see how cool it was besides me, and that got me reinvigorated that it's like even the old vintage stuff There's only a few copies of them available at any one time. I need to get them up because people might be looking for them. And the whole point is that people should be stitching them and they shouldn't be stuck in my office in boxes. So I just grabbed enough stuff that I could get, that I thought I could get listed before this video is live so that it's live when you are watching it. And I will link to my store in the description. Okay, so the first I have this many vintage kits and then I have this many mostly vintage patterns. Okay, Noah's Ark Sampler by From the Heart. This kit comes with the Ada and the floss looks like this, and it is open but not started. This is cool. This is Mary Englebright, Bloom Where You're Planted. Mary Englebright's definitely having a moment this year. And this comes with the like mat to put over your, so like it comes with the fabric, you stitch it, and then it comes with the mat for the frame. And then that floss looks like that. And then that way when you finish it in a frame, you have this mat. This is not stitched. You're just stitching this. I think that's so pretty. Okay, that's just a pattern. This is a Dimensions kit called Flip Flop Frenzy, and it is not stitched. Like it's not been started. You got the fabric, the floss. You also have the beads. It says whimsical lineup has it all: pom-pom, silver beads, and half cross stitch, along with regular cross stitch. So you see that? This is an unopened sunset kit called Calendar of Events. And it's got like all the cool, like one thing a month, obviously very America centric. If you're not in the US, you would replace that. But it's so cute and it's not opened, and this is the fabric and the floss. Okay, this is Needle Treasures Welcome Almanac. Again, okay, so this has sorted floss, included fabric, and it looks like that. And it's not opened. Now this is cool. This is a gold collection back when they came in these bags. It's called Antique Santa Tree. You can see it's like very vintagey Santa feel. I love that it has a star on top. My kids demand stars be on top. And if this part is unopened, you can see that the floss and the metallic floss, the fabric, the sorter, and this is unopened. But this is back when they came in these cool bags. All right, this one is Dimensions, How Does Your Garden Grow? And it is not started. Oh wait, no. Okay, this one is started. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this one has like a tiny little baby start. So this one has a little baby start on the Rustico Ada, easy to frog if you didn't want to keep it. But it obviously hasn't had much of the stitching. You've got the pattern and the floss in here. So this one is started, but not much. Okay. So those are the kits that I have. And then here are the patterns. So okay, so patterns. This is so pretty. This is by Linen Presents Merry Wishes. Duplicate stitch, homegrown. So you do the duplicate stitch over the sweater, or the knitting, I guess, if you didn't want to do it on a sweater. Duplicate stitch, sample these ABCs. Duplicate stitch counted V's on sweaters, please. Duplicate stitch salute to America. Duplicate stitch Christmas medley. Duplicate stitch stars and stripes. Hickory hollow duplicate stitch. This one's amazing. Garden variety. Look at that. That's incredible. Okay. Victorian Elegance Heirloom Pulled Thread Sewing Accessories by Linda Driscoll. Coaster Hardanger Embroidery by Linda Driscoll. Cross stitch with waist canvas from American School of Needlework. Floral Potpourri by Stony Creek. I feel like I've sold those before. The Cricut Collection Alphabet Samplers. Sally Ann Designs Elusive Spring Sampler. Seaside Stitches by Jeanette Cruz Designs. I definitely sold this before. And I've definitely sold this before too. A Gordon Fraser Cross Stitch Collection. So these have so many patterns in them. So you've got like, look at her. Are you kidding me? Like, maybe I should do those for my kids. My kids love cats. So this has a ton of stuff in it. So that is a Gordon Fraser Cross Stitch Collection. This is in the Garrett from our girl Paula Vaughn. Paula Vaughn along is coming in April. This is Sister's Birth Sampler Bless. And it does have some writing on the back that I will note. This is Spirit of Spring by Burton Dye, by Color Charts. Based on artwork by Burton Dye. So pretty. Okay, Just Between Friends in Cross Stitch, Mary Englebright. And these also come with like framed mats you can pull out. Oh, I love Mary Englebright. Okay, Joys of My Garden. I've sold this multiple times. I think I also have a personal copy of this. This is from Leisure Arts. Gordon Fraser, A Parade of Favorites. Okay, I've sold this before. Look at that guy. Look at those. Are you kidding me? Like, how fun would it be to do this kernel, but to do it in like a variegated instead of the DMC? Bears and Clothes, obviously. Scotty Dogs. Oh, so good. Okay, I'm gonna save the magazines for last because depending on how much time we have that I can like either go through them more or not. This is Halloween Tree by Stitch in Time. It's just a pattern. The buttons are from Albie Creations. May not be available anymore. You might have to replace it with different buttons, but how cool is that? Beastie of the Barn Design Company. This is called, no, it's Little by Little Design Company, Beastie of the Barn. Jeanette Douglas Designs Take Time to Quilt. Easter Bunny by Twisted Threads. Santa Ann Company from Leisure Arts. There's 16 projects in here. Miley Smith Folk Art Borders. Kitchen Caboodle mini series number 6 from Leisure Arts. Some fun food patterns. Country Caboodle mini series number 1 from Leisure Arts. Itty Bitty Seasons 1 Spring and Summer. We have those 2 designs. and that is by Twisted Threads. This one is unopened. It's In the Bag Chantel by Jeannie Bowers. And the border is also stitched. Cheat the Devil by Calico Crossroads. May you be in heaven a half hour before the devil knows you're dead. Raspberry Patch Design Studio, Angel of the Watermelon Patch. JP Coates Mini Occasions. So these were like freebies that were originally put in there, but now they are like ephemera, and most of these patterns you can't find anywhere else. So, but I will list these together because that will be easy on me. Alma Lane Childhood Revisited. And let's see, is there like a layout page with all the, yeah, okay. It's got a lot there. Okay, that's a magazine. Wait, no it's not. Cross Stitch Mini Designs, 32 count and cross stitch designs. It feels like a magazine, but it is not. It's a pattern booklet. Teddy and Friends by Dale Burdett. Teddy Bears and Geese, obviously. This is Southern Sampler by The Sampler House. And it says, Thou shalt not whine. Home is Band Sampler. Oh, this is not, this is something that was from someone else. It just got put in this pile. Look at that. Lady Slipper Orchid Pangea. Jeanette Douglas Designs Take Time to Quilt. These Jeanette Douglases also come from somewhere else. But this is something that Allison finished and then she gave to me to do, but then now that hers is like framed and gonna be at our parents' house, I don't need to do it because I want to see it all the time at Christmas. So this is Red Christmas by Jardin Privé. If you saw Allison's, it is so good. This is Classic Stitches Primer for Duplicate Stitch. And then, yeah, we have, oh, okay, I got 30 minutes. So I have time to like flip through these magazines a little bit and show what's really in them. So this is Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, September, October, 87. You've got these guys. This like, oh, that beautiful rose. Oh, Shenandoah. Oh no, it's a crisp clean new fabric. That's not the name of the pattern. Let's say the pattern. I don't know the name of the pattern. So, but look at this. And in this magazine they have what's in the magazine? Okay. All right, I don't know about those. We'll find out. This is called Welcome. That's very pretty. This apples all over. Okay, this funny design. Okay, that is September, October 87. That's the month my sister Valerie was born. Okay, Cross Stitch Country Crafts made June 87. I've sold this magazine before because a lot of people like to do that. Not a lot of people. It's one you see people do. It's the cover of this one. let's see. Got kid stuff, trains. This. Oh, it's like mom and daughter. There's no way you guys can stitch that off that little peak, so I'm not gonna worry about that. This is, oh wait, what's this? Oh, okay. This is the first part of the triptych Amid Amish Life. So this is in the book, like best things from, like the book of this, it's in it. But this came out in 3 pieces, 3 different magazines, and it is this piece of it. That's really pretty. Okay. Country seasonings for your cottage table. Let's see. It's hard though not to get like sucked into like, there's more pictures of stuff than there are patterns of stuff because they're showing other things or whatever. So you gotta really look. Oh, you got these like pretty hearts. Okay. There's some other little things in there, but that's kind of the big things. But I didn't see this pattern, this sweetness. Where was that? Sometimes it's just like on a weird page tucked in because they'll say like, oh, you know, the picture's on the front cover. I want to see that pattern really is in here. The Amid Amish Life pattern really is in here. It's funny that that's not the cover. Oh yeah. Okay, that's the sampler is called Gathering Honey, and it is in here. And it's I can't see who did the chart, but it's really pretty. Okay. We have, oh, one more magazine, then I have a couple more patterns. For the Love of Cross Stitch, November 1998. Look how pretty that is. A Christmas Prayer. Christmas is coming, those geese. Oh, these like animal Santa Clauses. Kitchen witches, those are cute. Just some other little patterns I'm not gonna worry too much about. The thing that's on the cover is definitely in here. Oh, Birds of the Marsh. That is really pretty. That is really pretty. Oh, Claudia Anderson captures 2 such species. And this is American Avocets. That is really pretty. These patterns are in here. I don't know what the name of them is though, because, oh, they're Peter and Sarah. I don't know. Oh, that's a good Santa. That's a really good Santa. All right, that's all the patterns, and there's other, like, you can read the magazines and stuff, but that's all the patterns in there. And then we have 3 more. We have this March, Mount Forest Frameworks Monthly Seedlings March, and that was a kit, and it's not a kit any longer. Then we have, but that's pattern only. Hinzite Mini Block Golf. Waxy Moon Designs pumpkins for sale. Oh, I can't believe I didn't put this in my Destash that was like pretty heavily fall. But there was one that was recent that was like pretty fall heavy, and that a lot of the stuff came from the same boxes, but I like separated out the like modern versus the vintage. Okay, the last one is a pattern. I think it was originally in a kit. Okay, this last pattern was like originally part of a kit. The Cooler Classic Charts Antique Shoe Collection by Barbara Batts Hillman. And it looks like that. Now the chart is in a lot of pieces on just like not very good paper. So it might be kind of annoying to stitch out that, it's just FYI, but it's right here. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a pink heart. And let me know if you're doing any Valentine's Day stitching, especially if you like started or finished anything since last week. And then if you haven't picked up the Cupid Collective, it's available through Saturday, next Saturday, and the 14th, and I will put a link in the description. And thanks so much. Bye.